Recording. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Raw Brilliance. I am your boy, Mansa J, here with my partner.
Your boy, King RU. What's good, people?
Yeah. Back for another edition, man. How's everything going with you, though?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Another week, another grind. You know what I'm saying? How you been?
I feel that.
You doing all right?
So, yeah, man, I'm straight. It's the same thing here for the most part. You know, just grinding, trying to get these shows on, like, my own platform. That's been, like, really difficult, like, trying to figure that out. It take a lot of money, like, to just upload them straight to your own stuff without going to, like, YouTube or Vimeo or something like that. And, yeah, with a kid on the way, it's kind of, I ain't trying to spend as much as they talking about right now.
I
So
feel you.
I'm trying to find another way to do it. But I think I found it, though. Other than that, man, you know, blessed and highly favored, bro. But yeah, man, it's been a minute since a couple weeks since we sat down. So a whole lot of things have been going on, such as we got a new sensation, you know, Mr. Kawme Brown. We definitely gonna jump into him a little later. We definitely gonna jump into him for real.
He been going ham on Twitter and IG.
Super ham. And we also got Texas, I think today or yesterday, passed that new bill about the homeless, which is really going to affect Austin.
People lack empathy. That's what that's all about. That's what that should just headline say. Lack of empathy. Because you quick to kick people out of something, but you don't have a resolution for a prosperous future for them. So, where's the empathy?
We definitely going to see. I'm kind of like torn between it. It's like I just don't understand. It's not time. My bad. I appreciate the catch. But it's like it is a serious problem in Austin, but it got to be like another way to go about it because they just going to be like throwing people in jail and shit.
Well, it's not just an Austin
thing.
thing. I've been talking to you about this for years. It's not just Austin. If you go to Chicago, you go to Milwaukee, you go to Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? If you go to any major city, it's the same shit. So it's almost like saying the way people have been pretty much sounding on. Look, I've been telling you I was listening to a lot of conservatives talk radio. So the way people have been saying or talking about certain things is almost like they almost would be okay with going to an extreme of like, hey, if you ever homeless, we're just going to sterilize you, essentially. And then, you know what I'm saying, we're going to treat you like you ain't shit. And if you ever come back up, we just want to make sure that we don't have any failure genes going further than that. Because the way you are making our society look, oh, well, I'm working and I drive a nice car and, well, I don't want to drive down the street and have a homeless person outside, down the street from where I live because I'm thriving and I feel like, they don't have the same quality of life and it's not my fault they're homeless. Like, again, bro, I get it. You're not supposed to. Everybody's not going to care about certain issues, especially when they don't pertain to them. But you can't just negate things and act like it doesn't matter because just like if we were to find some utopia for, let's just castrate all these homeless people over here, well, then that's going to be a bigger problem down the road.
It's definitely going to be a bigger problem. It's not really going to fix nothing. It's like, I want to know what type of resources they're putting behind.
They're not putting any resources. That's the problem. Like, literally, they're not talking about any kind of reconstructing. They're not talking about rehabilitating. They're not talking about the overall wellness and well-being of these people. They're just trying to say, hey, man, get them the fuck out of here and don't put them in this park and don't put them, why are we talking about this park? Because this park is close to this school. Yeah. And these people, I mean, because one guy was like, he was like, man, I've been in Austin for 3 years. And he was like, I listen to your radio station every day, blah, blah, blah. He was like, and I agree with like 90% of the things you guys say. He was like, this bill was supposed to be passed to hurry up and get, this thing eradicated so we don't have to keep dealing with the homeless people downtown Austin, X, Y, and Z, right? He was like, so we passed this bill, and he was like, it's like taxation without representation because we passed it, but now we're not getting any results. He's like, how am I supposed to feel about that as a taxpayer? I was like, okay, I kind of hear you, but again, you come up with initiatives without conclusion. You know what I'm saying? It's just like saying, I mean, we had this talk all the time on this podcast about the black community, about how, hey, we want so much, or we feel like we're being mistreated, but we don't necessarily take all the proper steps to make sure we don't have to keep enduring the same things over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So when you don't properly prepare, hey man, you're going to gladly receive the same failures. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on it. I mean, I feel like every topic that we kind of talk about, far as current news in the last week or the last 2 weeks, where you're talking about political or economical based things, everything is being ran into the same bubble because you have all these corporations trying to get everybody to be vaccinated, but they're getting, payoffs to get your employees vaccinated, stuff like that. And then if you look at all of the some of the results, you got people who like putting magnets on their arms and the magnets are not falling off. They can do all of this, and it's like, people are just being conditioned to just kind of follow anything, but they don't know where they really stand on any topic. Where you talk about homeless people, the economy, infrastructure, because that's another bill that they was talking about, infrastructure, and how Biden is pretty much reneging on what he promised.
I already knew all that was going to happen, but like, I agree with all your points about the homeless stuff, and we do kind of talk about subjects that always come back to like the same problems, you know what I mean? Like not really having the people's best interest at heart, This bill, it's a Class C misdemeanor or something like that, punishable to like $500 fine, but the police are supposed to direct the homeless people to a place where there are offer them resources to take them to like a shelter or to like some type of nonprofit or whatever. But even that, I feel like it's not gonna be like
it's
that.
It's not sustainable.
Like,
Where's the funding?
I feel like they're just gonna be assholes about it. Like, and I feel like this whole bill is just a big, like, fuck you. We do what we want to, and we're gonna have this the way we want to have it, instead of really, like you said, like having a plan put together already. You know what I mean? That's gonna actually see this process and help people. It's not just gonna make them more stressed out. A lot of them are probably dealing with issues mentally and stuff like that. That takes real resources. Like, it's people that are homeless whose family have tried to get them off the street. You know what I mean? And they, just for whatever reason, it's something. I don't want to diagnose anybody or nothing like that. I don't know the exact terms for all of it and stuff, but they have their problems that need real help.
Mike.
Oh, okay. It's a headphone. But to have like to have just know like empathy for the situation was really, it kind of pisses me off. Like, why do it? Like, if it's people that are out there actually like affecting or like hurting people and stuff, the cops are there for a reason. Like, they're going to, arrest them or whatever or whatnot, take them to jail and get them off the streets regardless. But what about all the people who aren't causing any problems and have families and stuff? If we're just going up to them and saying, hey, we got to take you to this place for resources where they can help you further, I get that. But just like banning it and then like making them have to pay more money when obviously they don't have it, like that makes really absolutely zero sense to me.
But
And then they also, I seen on Twitter or something that they also signed a bill where you can't have dogs outside anymore and stuff, like on chains with food and water and stuff like that. And I was like, they looking out, like for the animals more than people, which that is a good thing. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have that. Like, I have dogs myself, but I also grew up with dogs outside, you know what I mean? So I see it both ways. But my point is, like, you having more empathy for an animal situation than an actual human being. You pass these bills on the same day. It's like, okay, like, what is our like our goal here, man. Like, really, all these people are moving down here to Austin. More money is coming, more tech companies. All this money is here, and you can't tell them you can't build no facility. Elon Musk buying up downtown and, like, Soho and shit, buildings all over there. Like, my dude, y'all could get a building or something like that, or even build one that's out kind of where homeless could come kind of like a co-op where you have, like, gardens and stuff for food and all that, which will help them, like, be employed because they could sell their produce to, like companies and grocery stores and all that type of stuff, which, it'll be a non-profit. So you can actually like hire people on there and stuff like that. But also the money is going towards a good cause. Like you're using it to rebuild, grow, buy more land, help more people out. And it's like a cycle. At least it's something. I'm not saying that's a perfect plan, but it's just like an idea. Like instead of just trying to round people up and get them out here and clear. I'll be seeing cops like under the bridges is rolling up and just be like grabbing people, like you driving on the highway and it's just like, damn, man, it's so sad to see the towns. And I wish I had the money to like build a co-op or donate to it, or just, or like try and find some type of way to do that. But I don't really like it, man. I see that something has to be done. I'm not saying I have the answer, but I'm just saying there's a better way.
I'm just saying that banning
something
long term was what would end up happening is if you have people who can't afford it. Right, you have homeless. We're talking about homeless people. So if you have homeless people and they're being rounded up and they have a court fee, they don't give a shit about no court fee. So then eventually, if they end up in jail, that means that everybody that's paying taxes, now I'm paying taxes on incarcerating homeless people because they had an unfortunate time in life. So it's like it's punitive. You know what I'm saying? It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. But at the same time, though, you can't just negate the macro aspect, because if I'm talking about homeless people and their situation, I don't want it to constantly impede mine where it's like, well, I should have just been okay with them just living down the street compared to rounding them up and then eventually I got to pay taxes on housing them in jail. Because some of them will just, I mean, they used to, or, depends on the character of the person, but you hear stories about people would be like, oh, yeah, this homeless man just committed a crime just so he could have, 3 meals in a cot. That's what jail is. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, the way we look at the exactly judicial system and everything else, like, bro, a lot of this shit is just a fucking game. Just so the people that's already pretty much running the game, they keep winning, and everybody on the bottom is like, oh my God, bro, this don't make no sense. How do I get out of this jam?
That be my problem. Like, they be doing shit that just don't. It's like you using all these resources to do shit that we don't even need, bro. Like, how many bombs and weapons and shit do we really need, fam? A couple nukes is going to end all this shit. While we got hundreds, we're not going to get them off. Are aliens coming to attack us? That we playing? If they came over here and we barely getting like to Mars and shit with robots and stuff like that, what you think they're going to do to them nukes probably been thought of already? Like, what is the point of it? To look tough, look big, look bad, and have this facade. And I feel like that's all America really is, for the most part, is a facade, bro.
It's a big flex.
Like everybody on a micro and macro level, even in the hoods and shit, we all putting on it's like a facade. I got to be the biggest or baddest or toughest. If you white and you rich or something like that, you feel like you're the biggest. You can look down on homeless, so you feel like the biggest or baddest and toughest or whatever and shit like that. If not the toughest, but you got like a confidence and an arrogance that come from those materialistic things.
That's a mentality, though, and that right there, I've been talking about all week, and I'm like, bro, we it's easy to identify that from a white man, but it's a lot of minorities that pick up the exact same thing, that same shit, because you get to a point where you like, oh, bro, I achieved a little success, or I'm a little bit better than this person at this one thing. So you try to shit on that person. It's just like how I'd be like, hey, bro, I don't get on social media and I don't pass judgment on somebody's infidelity or they mishaps in life when they make bad decisions. Yeah. But I'm not going to justify why you made bad decisions. It's just like, when weeks ago when we were talking about NBA YoungBoy, and you was pretty much advocating about, he's 19, he's a millionaire, he got, all this shit going for him. So to make a dumb mistake, it's bound to happen. And then that's when I countered it and was pretty much saying,
not that it's bound to happen.
Well, it is in a lot of incidents when there's no guidance and there hasn't been any guidance, it's bound to happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but this is my point though. So me and my coworker was having this conversation, and I was saying, cause we were talking about this and, all this other shit we were talking about earlier as far as the political things. Yeah. And I was like, people easily justify wrongs. When it fits you, and it's like, oh, well, because I kind of fit this social club, or because I am a trap dude, or because, politically I fit this persona, that I'm gonna just, okay some things and, turn my cheek to the other things. And I'm like, you can't. It's just like right now.
Who?
Right. I'm saying, like, right now there's a conversation about the John Marshall, changing of the John Marshall schools.
You were talking about that earlier before we got on, but
yeah. So I'm gonna tie that into this. So, on these talk radio stations, you got a lot of people that's upset about changing the John Marshall law schools because they feel like, cancel culture is pretty much eradicating everything. And, I'm not advocating for cancel culture because it's pretty weak to me. But at the same time, though, I am for eradicating the faces of racism. So, yes, John Marshall, all the facts about, he was one of the main faces of the judicial system back in the early 1800s and all this other stuff, right? But it doesn't make what he enacted in law any more right, because some of those same laws that he enacted impede on my liberties to this day as a black man in America. So when you listen to a lot of these people get on these radio stations and they be like, oh, well, so what if the black community feels like this? This man was a fucking, he was the shit, this, that, and the other, pretty much just gassing it up, because they believe in this type of America. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn, dog, it's like you want America to be peaceful, but you're advocating for somebody who was clearly racist and enacted racist policies. Right. But you want us to talk about how racism is dead. How is it dead when you constantly are cheering and hoping that we hold on to these same principles? It's like you can't have, your cake and eat it too.
I think about that often. Like, where do they even? It's the same thing with the Confederate flag or whatever shit like that, right? It's like, bro, I would be arguing with like white people from the South. Like, I'm from the country, so I've seen the flags on the trucks and all that type of shit like that for forever, right? Which at first, when I was younger, it was just like some Dukes of Hazzard shit. That's the thing from my grandma used to watch Dukes of Hazzard. So I had the little toy car and had the flag on the top. I didn't think nothing of it. But when I grew up and like actually realized, like, it didn't even take long, probably when I was in high school, when I finally like, oh shit.
Did you get that little? Did you get that little chill of like?
Yeah, understanding? It's like I really was repping like Dukes of Hazzard shit. Had the little toy car and everything, right? And it just like, so I'm arguing with them one day, and I'm just like, bruh, do you really not understand where we coming from right now? Like, I just got to the point where, like, on a basic fundamental, just me and you right now, fuck the bullshit and everything else, you really can't understand where I'm coming from with this. Where did that flag, how did it come about? What is it about? What does it represent? And the same thing with the with what you talking about right now with the John Marshall thing or whatever. This dude was like, I guess like born in the 1700s, like was on the Supreme Court and stuff like in the 1800s, early 1800s. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's clearly messing with someone, messing with, not if you black or whatever, what he did is facts. Who he was is facts. And it was like why does it matter to you? Like, why, if this dude really hurt people and you know this, really was about that bullshit, and we know this,
and we're still going
he don't affect your life at all, but as far as the judicial system and shit, which they are steady amending and overturning shit to this day about all the stuff that they passed back then and shit like that. What does it really matter to you? Why this big uproar just for somebody else can have peace of mind? If it's not affecting me, bro, I don't care. But then they say, well, it's the same thing with the flag. No, the flag is effective. Every time I see it, every time my grandma sees it, every time my uncles, my mom, it represents something. It's affecting us in today, into now, in a right now, in our mental. It's like a bully tactic. Like, we can have this flag and do this shit right now if we want to. That's bullying, bro. It's like, I'm not going to take no bullying. I don't care if it's a symbol, a type of bully, or a physical bully, or whatever. Like, I was raised, you bully the bully and make sure everybody good. And so we gonna bully the bully.
Exactly.
Now we gonna make you take down this flag, change the name of the school. Fuck them. Okay. So you want to do it nicely. You want to keep being a bully. I'm gonna show you what we do to bullies. And it's just that simple to me.
In a peaceful way. This is what I kind of like got realization with in the last week. And I'm still bothered by a lot of this shit, but the only way it helps me to kind of like just realize shit, and it's even like from my military background. A lot of people lack integrity. A lot of people don't know what accountability the fuck is. And it's not so much like saying, hey, bro, I know where my wallet is, my phone, and my keys in my back pocket. It's more so definitely like, hey, what I do is going to affect my kids, it's going to affect my, you know what I'm saying, my community. You know what I'm saying, the things that you put out into the community, whether it's like your acts or, you know, your words, whatever, everything, somebody knows you. And, you know, it's like when you have things that constantly go around and around and around, it's like the only way out is by saying, hey, you know what's the problem here? How can I eradicate the or eradicate the problem? So when you don't have accountability, people place blame. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me saying to you, hey, next week we gonna do a podcast in Florida, right? And don't worry about it. I'm gonna make sure everything's taken care of. Just get your plane ticket.
Okay.
So it's like, all right, bro, I'm accountable for everything else. You're accountable for your plane ticket. Watch this. If I'm an ain't shitty ass nigga and I'm your business partner, right? So this is real for us, right? Yeah. So it's like, all right, bro, my business partner said next week we going to Florida, X, Y, and Z. I just got to get my plane ticket, everything else straight. Cool. If I'm not accountable or have the integrity enough to say, hey, bro, what do in my life that I have to take care of now so I can make sure that next week Florida, everything's cool so you don't have to do anything. Because I brought this up. You didn't ask me. I brought it up, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all right, cool. So I get you know what I'm saying? I should be doing all these things, but what we all experience in the black community 9 times out of 10. Somebody dropped the ball. Oh, bro, can we reschedule? Damn, bro, I already got my plane ticket. Damn, bro, my fault. Something came up. Well, you didn't plan in advance. You know what I'm saying? You really were just trying to wing some shit, and you knew and within yourself that you was really just bullshitting. It sounded good. It sounded good. And I tell people this all the time. I've been saying this all week. So, you know what I'm saying? I know Gibbs, when he see this shit, he gonna be like, damn, bro, you really gonna keep going with this? Yes, I am. People, 9 times out of 10, know when they want to cancel on some shit, especially when it's business oriented. I've been waiting on a video for 2 weeks, right? I find out that the person that's doing my video is out kicking it one of the times that he's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, linking up with us to do the video. So you be like, God damn. Now it makes you look like, all right, but I can't do business with this person no matter how close we are. The integrity is not there.
How long did he tell you it was going to take to finish the video?
2 weeks.
He told you 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
And you saw him out after the fact?
Everything literally was written in contract, X, Y, and Z. So we just pay all this money, you know what I'm saying, to do this shit. And I'm like, hey, bro, you know, you gas things up because it's your people. And that's the thing that, you know what I'm saying, in the black community, we all keep saying, bro, you want to do business with your people. Yeah. But a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, their integrity is lacking. And they think because, oh, this is my boy, you know what I'm saying, I could just kind of keep putting him off.
Now,
and it don't work like that.
And you say your people, so you mean your personal friends, or are we talking about a specific demographic?
This is a close homie. So when you find, mind you, I ain't like he told me, hey, bro, I'm going out to such and such and such. Somebody else told my homie, like, hey, bro, guess what I'm out here with? The nigga that's supposed to be doing y'all video. Yeah, we had a boat party. I'm like, damn. Nigga talking about you got some important shit to do. You had a boat party, nigga? So, you know what I'm saying? When you get shit like that, you be like, all right, bro, the integrity gone. So you can always be cool and cordial with motherfuckers, but at the end of the day, you were never going to want to do business with them ever again.
Yeah.
That's just the facts.
That shit, The whole integrity thing, man, that's just like, it's just how you raise for the most part. Like, I think that is super important. Oh, boy. I got music playing and shit. What is going on?
Yeah, you just hit play on your headphones.
But yeah, though, my bad.
All good.
But integrity, man, that's just, it got a lot to do with how you raise. Not saying that you can't change for a better person, you know what I mean?
You gotta have it in you.
I know I've grown a lot over the years into, I'm nothing like I was when I was in high school. Pretty much like fundamentally, yeah, I am. I've always been like nice, and I don't even know if nice is what you call it, but just like I lead with respect.
Respect. I'm about to say respectable.
So like I'm big on respect. Everybody I come in contact with, you not gonna feel disrespected by me. If you do something to me, that's different. Now if you cross the line to do something like I you know what I mean, like, I know what to do to handle myself type shit, whatever, but that's not the point. What I mean is just leading in respect is the biggest thing, and respecting other people and your fellow neighbor and all of that type of stuff like that, it'll go a long way in changing all this shit. Even the racist talk. If you respect somebody, some of the shit you say would not come out of your mouth, bro. It just would not, just out of sheer respect for that other person.
But you talking about a generation. And I mean, we all, when I'm talking about, I shouldn't even say the generation, because this generation, we most definitely kind of influence the older generation, because we have a lot of these tools like social media and everything else that really just made us become okay with just putting out everything, to where it's like, well, we lost that connection where it's like, hey, bro, I'm finna really call my homie to make sure he cool. But no, I could just get on Twitter, see what he doing. So we would do, you know what I'm saying, some lame ass shit like that. But even to go back to what you were saying about the respect thing, right? As a parent, you know what I'm saying, there would be times your kid probably go through some things where they probably got into a little tip for somebody else. Now, we all keeping it 100. You like, I'll beat the shit out of somebody else's little kid, right? When I grew up, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't lose no fight. I couldn't come home if I lost a fight. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't never lost no fight. And motherfuckers done try to jump at me and all kind of shit. I done been hit with sticks and all kind of shit, but I still beat their ass. Because I could not come in my house if I lost a fight. And they household was just the same. So we talking about like a hood environment, you feel me? And when you talk about respect moving forward, it's like we have a society, especially in the hip hop community, where it's like, oh, you know, motherfucker got a line, I'm not even give him a chance. I'm just gonna pop him.
Yeah.
Why are we so pussy? I ain't gonna say we. Why are y'all so pussy? Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm trained on guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my profession in the military. But at the same time, I don't like guns. I hate guns.
Yeah.
They bring all the pussy out of people, bro. You got that gun on you, feel like you invincible. I'm finna, nigga out line, I'm finna shoot him. I'm in traffic, I'm finna shoot him. Man, throw them hands,
shit.
fam.
I say that all the time.
Throw them hands, fam.
That's why when folks be talking about, he ain't gonna do nothing with that gun and stuff like that, I'm just like, bruh, that make cowards superheroes, dog.
A coward would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the first thing he gonna do. I can't fight. I don't know how to defend myself, or I don't got the heart to try.
It's pride.
Yeah, it's pride. I don't got the heart to try, and it's like I'm just gonna do this, and it's gonna be, you know what I mean? It's gonna be whatever, but you're not gonna jump on me type shit like
now
that.
I gotta pay taxes on this dumbass.
But that's all about respect too, though. Like just that right there. In exchange, if I see somebody else like black that's out or whatever, you can be any race, but I'm talking specifically to my people right now.
I'm saying, what's up?
If I see a black, bro, it's
what
what's up?
What's
How
good,
you doing,
fam?
my
you good?
dude? Even if I don't talk, I'm like, hey, or if I'm going in and out of the store, I'm going to hold the door open. If he hold it open for me, I appreciate it, King. You know what I mean? Or sir, you know? Every single it's not even a hesitation, because I just respect. If it's a white dude,
I don't get a chance to interact with too many black motherfuckers without there being some kind of tension. Oh, what the fuck you looking at? Nigga, calm down, brother. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go as a white man, everywhere you go, you're a 1% of. So, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna be so tense every time you see another mother? It's like, it's almost like niggas were trained to be a pit bull all the goddamn time. Like, you're not a pit bull, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, be calm, be collective. Speak to the people that, you know what I'm saying, that look like you treat us better than we've been treating each other.
But that's what it is, though. They intentionally stuck us in an environment that is dog eat dog. It's like Either you're gonna be top dog or you're gonna be struggling. You're gonna be in that top center, you're gonna be struggling. But that's based off just economics and the classes. We just happen to be in a demographic that happen to be in those communities. Yep. But yeah, that's just based off, you know what I mean, the classes or whatever. We have to take a little break real quick, so we jumping back into it right now. But yeah, it's basically about, you know, the class. We just happen to be the demographic that's mostly populate those areas and within the cities or whatever that are in those dog situations. You know what I mean? So, but they intentionally doing that. You know what I mean? Because they know it's going to create a mentality to where we're going to feel like we have to climb and scratch and claw for everything, and we're going to have to pull the next man down. We're willing to go and talk to the, you know, the police about certain things, or willing to go to other communities to try and get resources instead of building them ourselves, because we feel like in that environment we have to go out and seek help for ourselves. It's more of a selfish type of deal, which is kind of needed. You know what I mean?
But that's displaced aggression. You're not taking that aggression that you were forced to, I guess,
but you don't know that.
A lot of us are getting to that point of now we are kind of waking up and we do know that. But it's just trying to get the rest of everybody else to say, hey, man, get on board, because I can't just be the visionary and say, hey, this is how we're going to enact it, but then there's no action. Because, you know what I'm saying, it's just like the parable of the villages that was getting ravaged by a herd of elephants. And the elephants didn't have any guidance because there was no father around. So before they killed these elephants, somebody said, hey, you know what, give me a couple of days and I'm going to fix this problem. What they did is they went and got 2 male elephants. And when the male elephants came up on that territory where these elephants been tearing up these little villages and everything, them elephants stopped and they literally turned around and walked away. And everybody said, bro, how'd you know that was going to happen? He was like, the thing about life is, he was like, there always needs to be a male guidance to pretty much reign and rule over that area. It's not to say that that's to be, my statement's not to be sounding misogynistic. It's just that in life, when you don't have a lot of male structure, a father figure, you're going to have a whole community of boys running rampant because they have no guidance. They have no principle that they abide by. It's just like how we talk about, the snitching culture. You know, it's like, we about, oh, well, I'm not going to snitch because that's not my business. Or, you know how it is, just culturally, how we just view snitching. Yeah. But at the same time, though, when it comes to somebody doing wrong by you want a motherfucker to do what? So it's like, we have all these fake-ass codes codes and creeds that we abide by. But it's like they don't have any value compared to saying, hey, you know what? Let's change the narrative. Let's be, more hands-on. You ain't got to be a father to be the voice in your community. You know what I'm saying? Being, just being present alone and saying, hey, bro, y'all going in the wrong direction. Let me tell y'all something else about stocks. Hey, bro, y'all heard about crypto? You how old are you? You 14? Oh, bro, you can get this shit. Let me tell you something. Let me get $100. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how to make some money. But if you don't expose them for things that are already going to enact in their life in the future, they ain't going to be prepared when it's time for them to have to do it all the time, because mom and dad may die by the time they're 18. Mom and dad might need them to be more sufficient before they're 18 because life happens. Yeah. Mortgages, people, all kind of circumstances happen where it's like, hey, if you don't prepare your kids earlier, they're going to be the ones running around. And you're like, oh, bro, this little bastard ain't really contributing shit to society and life, but being a fucking criminal. And then that's the stigma that we keep being perpetuated in our community, because it's like, well, damn, there's no guidance, and you're not investing anything of validity into these kids.
That right there brings us to, like, we were already going to dive into it, but it's kind of leaning into it anyway. But the whole Kawme Brown situation, right? Like,
yes, sir.
Fuck like all the bullshit and whatnot. It's funny and whatnot. But when you really listen to what he's saying, he's pretty much
that's what he's
facts.
Talking
about.
He's
and
speaking
that's
facts.
what he's talking about, and that's what he's saying. He's talking about, instead of us, like asking for resources and doing all this, having those leaders in the community, the real men, real, women, and but mainly talking to our young black men, like really seeing that it takes us, like, we have to step up, like, to guide those generations coming up and stuff like that, and not just trying to wait for other people to build resource and bring resource. And when one of us make it or go out, a young black man or woman or whatever, they go out, they make it, they come back and actually teach the kids how they did it. Like, here, this is how I did this. This is how I became a lawyer. This is how I became a doctor or whatnot. This is how I started my own business. Like, actually coming back teaching, not just coming and showing and trying to floss and, like, flex and shit and showing, I drive this fast car through the hood so the kids can see and want to spy there. Okay, that's cool. I see what there is something in there. But what about coming and actually,
showing them how to
taking
do it.
them and actually teaching them. This is how I got this whip right here. Drive that dope-ass car you got. Drive it down to the hood. If you like made it professionally, you a business person, or just our real people that we see in the community, it's like, oh, you made it, bro. Like, doing it the right way type shit. Even if you have to start rocky or whatever and shit like that. But, hey, this is how I do it. These are the mistakes I made. But when I got my shit together, this is what I did. You know what I mean?
And your mistakes are actually the notes to help the next generation avoid the same shit you went through. That's why mentoring is a very valuable thing. One of my mentors told me, I guess you could say this ideology. The reasons why you're supposed to have a mentor, you're supposed to have somebody above you, somebody on your level, somebody under you. That's just how life is supposed to go, period, right? When you don't have anybody on your level, nobody's going to check you to say, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying, you wrong, you know what I'm saying, your integrity off. Or, you know what I'm saying, you need to do better, you need to go harder. Whatever the case may be, that's a friend, you know what I'm saying? I hate to use that word, but that's what a real friend will really be in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to just be like, oh, yeah, bro, keep going. I'm not supporting it because it ain't shit. And I'm not telling you that, hey, bro, you can go harder, but, all right, bro, yeah, keep it up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like people being like, hey, bro, how's your podcast? You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, bro.
I'll take care of y'all.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
All right, bro.
I'll meet you later.
Hey,
All right. But it's like, what was I saying?
Yeah.
I forgot what I
We're
was
basically
saying.
talking about, like going back into the communities and actually having those people there, those men to tell us and teach us, or even peers, you know what I mean? So, our friends.
Yes, this is why you need people on your level. So your friends, they're gonna check you, but when you're growing in life, whether it's your kid or somebody else that's under you that may look up to you, that, hey, bro, how you obtain these things? Oh shit, this how I did it. This how I got started. So while you telling your stories, you'll reflect on yourself sometimes. Like, hey, bro, this is one thing I used to be good at, and you get better at your own craft, right? So by teaching somebody else that's under you, you're getting better. Teach somebody that's on your level, they keep you, you know what I'm saying, on your shit as far as your integrity, your work ethic, and everything else. They making sure that you're not just being stagnant, right? The person above you is going to tell you, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is what it's going to take to get to the next level. Yeah. This is what it's going to take to maintain it. You might start off as an entrepreneur and be like, hey, bro, I just print T-shirts. You get a good quality mentor. They might be like, hey, bro, this is how you get a storefront. This is how you get, you know what I'm saying, consignment deals with that's this, that, and the other.
That's what I'm talking about, and that's the message that I wanted people, like, in the whole Kawme Brown situation with all of them and him and Matt Barnes, if you haven't heard about it and all of, you should have. If you live on the rock, you haven't heard about Kawme Brown right now. He got in everybody's ass. He has been going bananas out here. And, but it started with him and Matt Barnes and all them, and it's a lot of cussing and stuff like that. And it's funny at times. But the messaging that he talks, if you go back and watch some of his old videos and the things that he talk about and the things that he referenced, it's exactly the message that we kind of need, and it's coming in different forms. Like, for some reason, we love the bullshit, so that was gonna get him popping. You know what I mean? I just hope he can create a platform where he gets away from that and focus on the stuff that he's actually been talking about. You know what I mean? And kind of, but we know that bullshit sells, and that's why his numbers shot through the roof, because it was like, it's All the Smoke podcast. That's one of the biggest sports podcasts right now, that just podcasts in general. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, you know, they huge right now. So to have beef with them, everybody knew Kawme Brown was the number one pick, and it's just drama filled. But it brought the eyes. But that message right there, I caught one of those. You know, a lot of them gems, and his message. And I was like, wow. Like, I came to it for like the bullshit, because it was so on Twitter, everybody going crazy, just talking about Kawme Brown getting in everybody, Kawme Brown doing this. And so I went to it just go see what he was saying. But then my sister and Mansa like, but he really saying something though. Like, are y'all listening to him? And yeah, man. And so what do you think about that whole thing though?
I mean, I agree with him. I don't necessarily agree with, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, the hype of, you know, the attention behind it per se. You know, I'm not really, you know, I don't like gossip and all that, but the message is it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of men talking about, bro, and I've been talking about the same thing when it comes to like the how the hip hop community just got like perverted with just thinking like you gotta just walk around in Balenciaga and all this designer shit, bro. That's not what we are about. You know what I'm saying? That's what it kind of evolved into, but that's not what it should just end all be all with. Yeah. Because when you're talking about a career, you do a career for what? Success. To say, hey, bro, I didn't have something and I obtained it. You know, I achieved this goal that I had, and this is how I'm going to sustain my livelihood moving forward. Or at least that this thing established a new quality of life for me, that I could probably put this thing off and move into another business venture. But when you constantly looking at it like, oh, bro, yeah, you get in the hip-hop game, you got to sell drugs, you got to do this, that, and the other. And it's like all these little kids looking at it. It's like, well, that's damning, because they thinking, all right, I got to do all these different things and put myself into an illegal bind, right? Most of them are not going to get out of that shit. So then when you're not getting out of it, it's like, damn, I'm still idolizing this one celebrity, and he ain't really giving me anything sound in life that's going to help me get to the next level. Songs are supposed to get you through moments. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to make you feel good, you know, catch a vibe, whatever. But it ain't supposed to be like, all right, bro, I'm for the shit on you and make you feel less than a person, right? Who listens to a song like that? So why would you follow a celebrity and then it's like, well, damn, bro, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have no money, bro. You got a 9-to-5. You work an hourly job. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford the same shit they can. So to perpetuate that image and say like, well, for little kids, I ain't saying like celebrities are coming out saying, oh yeah, you gotta wear this shit. Like, no, it's just that they made it and they gonna keep wearing it. But most of them probably ain't putting any they money to the side to invest. You know what I'm saying, in crypto or anything else that's like, hey, bro, if I have another year of a pandemic and I'm not doing tours, am I okay?
Even if you invest in what you wearing, that shit that you like spending all that money on, you know what I mean?
It has no value. It's for the season.
If you buy Jordans all the time and invest in Nike, it's not a safe, like pretty safe bet that it could grow.
That's an investment.
That's what I mean, though.
But most of them ain't.
Even a small thing, but you saying a lot of them not. I'm just saying they should, like, even if they can switch to that mindset, like, I'm spending all this money on this shit.
At least own the company that you're wearing.
You know what I mean? Or have some type of stake
stocks in it, yeah.
Then it makes sense. Like, okay, I'm wearing this brand, promoting it. I'm getting something out of it. Like, it's going to help the brand, bro. It's going to help my pockets grow.
Not just me out here spending this shit, and I'm not getting anything on the back end from it. It's just like, you know, and since, like, last year, 2020, you know, stocks was like the biggest conversation piece for like at least 6 months. Yeah. Everybody was talking about AMC, talking about Amazon, talking about AMC, GameStop. We were talking about Dogecoin, all the Bitcoins, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's money out here, but it's just like it take money to make real significant money. You know what I'm saying? Because stocks is slow. It moves slow. That's why you have stock options. That, you know, you could really make a lot of money off of stock options. And then from stock options, it's like saying, hey, bro, long term, I do want to own a lot more shares into this company, so I invest that. But I, you know, keep going back and forth between where your money gonna work. You got to make your money work for you, not working for money constantly.
That's why I started with like small stuff like Acorns or whatever, and those apps or whatever, like apps like that and stuff, to where you can like put up a little bit, and it just because them small little shits turn into big, you know what I mean, bags if you stay consistent with it and you do amount that you just comfortable with. $5 a week. You just forget it comes straight out your check. You just forget about that shit. You know what I mean? You're not
You was
even
gonna spend it
thinking-
anyways.
You know what I'm saying? You're not even thinking about $5. But that $5 gonna keep on, you know what I mean? If you got like a consistent job and that's what it is, you gonna waste $5 just on bullshit. You know what I mean? Just some sweet,
Yep.
Just anything, some sugar or something that you don't need, like
Your lunch.
yeah, but like $5 or $10 here, 20 here, if you can, 100 or every blue moon or something. That's gonna stack up. And then you put it into investments that might grow too. Like one of them stocks that you choose to invest in might hit. You might not get millions because you ain't put millions in, but you're going to get a few extra hundred, even a couple thousand maybe. You know what I mean? It's like, that's like small stuff that we need to start thinking about and doing and stuff. And yeah, but that's a lot of the stuff that he was talking about. Like the whole beef stuff, I initially thought he had a lot of points in there too though. The way he came about it, though, like, I felt him, though, but it was like, man, he went hard.
He was
like,
just
they came at him with a little jab, and he just came in there swinging haymakers. Like, I'm sick of this.
But I mean, shit, bro. Between all the things we seen happen in the last couple of weeks between Joe Budden, everything with Kawme Brown, you know what I'm saying? What was the dude I was talking about earlier? Steph Rogan.
Oh, the Seth Rogen thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
boy, too. That's his partner name that was in Pineapple Express with him.
I don't even know his name.
James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. He got.
So it's like, man, you got a lot of people who get these platforms and they really just want to just.
The news cycle be crazy, bro. Like when you think about like every day it be something. Every single day, and news is on 24/7. That shit, it's gotta be fucking with our minds, bro. Like it gotta be some subliminal messaging in there, bro. Like this shit is too crazy.
It's a lot of conditioning right now. It's a lot of divisive shit going on.
It's on your TV. It's on your radio. It's on. If you walk past a store, like if you talking to somebody, it's on the signs, like everywhere. So much imagery, so much stuff going on, man.
And you gotta be self-disciplined enough to pretty much limit how much you're intaking of all of that stuff. Cause it could be overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. Because sometimes I really have to, like, I go camping and stuff like that, you know. I like to go back to my country roots a lot. Go fishing or something, go ride my horses, like something like that to where I'm away from this. When I get away from the city, I really feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. Like, I just feel like more in my element. Not many people around. Like, it's just, you might go to a store and see at the most 10 people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or if I go into a city, though, it's like I'm constantly surrounded by people and things and problems, and just like, it's always something, man. And it is overwhelming. I like to get away and check out, man. Like, go somewhere, but mainly going to the country, going camping, doing that stuff and thing. Like, I got to get away, man. Like, I have to, even if it was just like a day or a few hours to go fishing. Just go out there and just sit there. Nobody. You just sitting there on the water fishing. Like, you got your little stuff right here. You ain't even looking at your phone, bro. You ain't talking to nobody. A lot of people don't get that. Some people get like anxiety when it's like nothing around because they're so used to it. Like, it's a bunch of like city people and stuff like that. Like, they can't have that quietness. It fucks with a lot of people because you really reflect on yourself and the shit that you've been doing, the shit that you have done. Like, you have no choice. You sitting there in nature and it's just quiet, nothing around. You have nothing but your thoughts. You know what I mean? You might see a person here and there every now and then, but you just sitting there like thinking, like, what the fuck did I do yesterday? Why did I talk to her like that? Oh man, I gotta call them. You gonna really be in your life, you know what I mean? And And I got to do that to reassess and check out from all this madness that we see every day, man. And just driving in Austin, it be like just meeting some people. It's just like, bro, I don't even feel like fucking with you today. Like, just go. It'd be like people I don't know what something or I don't, and I have to like work with or something like that. Or it's just if I meet a client and everything was cool, we was talking and setting everything up, then all of a sudden they got a problem with the contract or something like that, and it's like, okay, we talked about this for like 2 weeks. You had 2 weeks to get this to me. On the day of, you telling me that you need the rights to this and this. It's like, bro, it's in the contract. Or ma'am, it's in the contract. Like, okay. Like, just that type of shit. Like, people who just, like, try to get one up on you. Like, I just feel like I gotta try. It's like, just be fair. I ain't gonna... And I understand that, you know, some people fuck over me and get over me. I'm not him, but to make sure, read the contract, take it to your people, ask me if this is regular stuff that is on here. This is basic stuff. I'm not trying to get nothing extra. I want to get what I think I'm deserved. My value is on that paper. You signed off on it. What is the problem? What is the problem here? And that's like with, and that's just like a microcosm of like the overall shit that we have to deal with, like on the news and just so much, all the different movements and popping up, white men talking, like when Joe Rogan said what he said, like respect to him and shit. I understand what he was trying to say, but like just to even say like it's getting to a point where I think it said straight white men won't have a voice or something. You was kind of hinting at it earlier or whatever, but
it's like, what voice do y'all need to have, dog? Like, some people, and I said this earlier on my Snapchat, I was like, some people don't understand, like, there's a time and place to really learn how to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I say it like that because I really mean it like that. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you talk too much. You need to learn how to listen to somebody else's perspective, because white people, honestly, y'all had over, I don't know, since the beginning of this country, y'all been talking. Y'all been running. Y'all been ruling. Like, and it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're moving forward as a country, yes, a lot of shit is going to be fucking changed because it ain't fucking conducive for everybody that inhabit this space. Yeah. So for America to be, you know what I'm saying, land of the free, you know what I'm saying, all the cliche bullshit we fucking say, and it's all bullshit, and, you know what I'm saying, it only gets applied when there's a fucking war. Now everybody's patriotic. Somehow now you just pulled that American flag out your back pocket that you wiped your ass with last week.
Bro, I've got to a point where it's like I don't take nothing serious no more. Like when everybody talking about on Twitter Biden was trending and stuff, I'm like, what did you expect? Like, this is the exact same.
But it goes back to, again, bro, like I said, bro, the black community, we don't have a party line. We don't necessarily need to be looking at political things like a left and right, because we're more so in the middle. Most of us are in some ways spiritual, and I'm not going to use religious, because for the spiritual ones, we understand, like, hey,
it's
bro.
Religious. Like,
no, there's a difference between religion and spiritual. That's why I said spiritual.
Obviously, but I mean, being spiritual or religious or whatever, even if they say they're religious, they fundamentally believe in, like, Christianity, like, principles, kind of subconsciously. Like, even if you say I'm just spiritual but I don't really have any, in the back when you still living by the 10 Commandments, kind of, I shall not steal, kill,
that's in your laws,
that
though.
is embedded in American DNA.
That's
bro.
in law, period, though. Everybody abides by the 10 Commandments.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But there are a lot of people who don't really, they truly don't give a shit about that. Like, they do what they want to do, type shit.
Whether they are consciously knowing that,
but I'm talking about most people that say I'm spiritual. A lot of people that really are atheists that don't believe in nothing, they just be like, oh, I just.
And they're still literally having to abide by the rules of the land of the Bible.
Yeah,
well, not the Bible, but like the rules of the land of the law.
Because it's law.
But my point was,
I don't think you got mine.
Well, I was still making my point.
Okay.
Because I was pretty much saying, like, in general, you know, I was talking about the whole party shit with black folks. We don't have a party. Most people are just throwing around slang words like liberal, conservative, X, Y, and Z. So it's divisive. Those are trigger words. You know what I'm saying? So it's like every time you, as a black person, goes and says anything to a white person, it's going to be, oh, you're liberal. Why? Because I'm black? Now, mind you, 9 out of 10, we're not going to feel like we're coming from a conservative standpoint unless we're talking about morale of, you know what I'm saying, human decency. You know what I'm saying? Things that we believe that should be enacted into, like, society, far as, like, censorship. You know what I'm saying? Not sexualizing everything, you know, so where you got perverted kids. You know what I'm saying? People are, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to live in a world where it's like pedophiles are okay. You know what I'm saying? That's I'm pretty sure that's clearly understood, right? At the same time, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes in certain hierarchies that, you know what I'm saying, they get exposed. Like Amazon's dropping a motherfucking show about Hillary. And, you know, supposedly how she's a motherfucking a succubus. And all this other stuff. So, yeah, it was reading. But that's just what I'm saying. Like, everything is just pretty much divisive between black folks, and we just need to learn how to just, again, make your own self-government, come up with your own initiatives and enact those things. Stop depending on the Democrat or the Republican Party to, oh, yeah, they're going to take care of this and promises. Like, you're getting promises from white motherfuckers, dog. How fucking strong is that? It ain't.
It don't matter if they white or black, though.
But
I feel like
it does when we're talking about politics. We're talking about politics.
Even in politics.
The motherfuckers that
how
are
many
running.
times have we been sold out from our skin
Black
tone
motherfuckers. Okay, again, but
politics.
it's still party lines.
That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, and why you're kind of like debunking what I'm saying, it's still fact because you get a fucking black person to be a representative or a percentile in a party line. Therefore, when they say something, it's easier to just put it off on this person because he's the black Republican. That's how you easily spin things off, and that's why I'm saying, like, bro, like, all of that shit, it literally is just a party line structure because it's all white ideology based. And it's just that we got that one person that got up there and motherfucking is somewhat successful in this party, and now he's advocating on behalf of all black folks. No, nigga, he's not. He's trying to motherfucking sway the fucking or swing the votes because he's one that is the token. Oh, okay, I'm a Republican. I'm slide over here. Oh, you know what I'm saying? What's his name? Benny Sanders, not Benny Sanders.
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get motherfuckers like that.
But that's what I'm saying, though. We pretty much were saying the same thing, but what I was trying to get at, are you trying to say, like, we need to start, like, our own party and have our own black person? Because I'm agreeing with you. It don't matter if they're black
I'm not
or
saying,
white or whatever.
I don't want to.
Hold on. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to figure out if you think we need our own party because, like I was trying to say, was the exact same thing you were saying is it don't matter if you're white or black or whatever within the Republican and Democrat Party. It's all the same ideology to the base. It don't really matter. Like, so what I'm saying, we need like our own person, like somebody that we are funding, that we're supporting as a people, or as even if it's not only black people in this, but we develop this.
It can't be a person. Reasons why it can't be a person because we will literally become the same replica. Watch what I'm saying.
I'm not saying one person.
Watch what I'm saying. Well, I'm going based off what you just said. If we put so much trust in like a person, like how white people revere Washington so much. Oh, he was 18 and he, you know what I'm saying, was a war leader. And again, he had enough integrity to say, hey, bro, we left this country over here to come to America so we don't have to fall under a tyranny, under one person, so we can have our own democracy.
But that's what I'm saying. Our own party, though. I'm not talking about...
For black folks, let me get to my point. For black folks...
But you don't even understand mine.
I'm trying to make it make sense. For black folks, it's not so much that we need a party line. We need a community ideology, something that we move forward on. Because when you make parties, that's something that in the future is going to be something that's going to be divisive. Oh, because you're black, you gotta be with this. I'm not trying to make something where it's like, oh, because I gotta be with this. It's like people have to change their mentality, how we move forward.
I understand that. I understand it needs to be an ideology within our community. I get that. But I'm also saying this is still a political thing or whatever. And if we're not backing a person, or if we don't have some type of party that is majority us, I'm not saying it got to be all black. I'm not saying you got to be black to be in it. What I'm saying is fundamentally, funded by us, started by us, majority us, right? That's what I'm saying, where we have people all throughout, not just one person, we hoping to get the president, I'm talking about in the Senate, in Congress, like in that. You know what I mean? We have our own party. It's not just going. It's just like the Republicans are not all white. We do have black Republicans. We do have, a mixture in the Democratic Party. I'm saying the same type of deal, but with our community. After we get that ideology that you're talking about, where we can drive it home, because without that, it don't work.
I'm gonna tell you why I said what I said and the way I said it. I said everything that way because when you say Black Lives Matter, I ain't read fucking shit on Black Lives Matter ever. But I can tell you that black and white motherfuckers don't know shit about Black Lives Matter except that somehow the shit turned fraudulent. And it ain't really about really keeping Black Lives Matters, you know what I'm saying, or Black lives, you know what I'm saying, at the pinnacle of,
All right, finish your point real quick.
It's not really really pushing us forward. It became something that was divisive because if white people don't understand it, then it's because you're black, you must be Black Lives Matter. So again, that's my point. I try to talk about things from a macro standpoint because everybody don't always get the micro, and you don't have time to always address it. So when you have things that's like Black Lives Matter, we don't know the face of these people. Somehow they had they had all this funding and all this other shit to where we don't have it. So how are we going to get to a party line where we literally can say, "Oh, I literally trust the integrity of all of these individuals"? I don't have time to go to New York and everywhere from the East Coast to West Coast to know these people personally. That's why overall you have to have a structure and real leaders. I mean, because you're not going to know every leader, but you need to have real leaders in these communities that's going to learn to step up and to be the voices in these areas so where we start to get that change. Everybody's not going to be like a T.D. Jakes. Everybody's not going to be like a Kanye West. Everybody's not going to have the same drive as a Rick Ross. But one thing I could say about all three of those different people, one being T.D. Jakes, like a lot of people may not agree with, who he is as a person, whatever. And I can't say anything negative about him because I'm a Christian and, he's, what I'm saying, he's a good leader. At the same time,
hold on. I get all that. I agree with that.
So what's the problem?
My point, you didn't answer this is what I'm saying, bro.
What do you want me to say?
Hold on. Just let me finish the point. What I'm saying is this. After we have that ideology within our community, we have that. Are you telling me that you just want to have a party line but still vote for a Republican or Democrat?
I don't vote for a party. I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I'm not going to say like, oh, okay, we have a black fucking party. You think white people won't fucking vote for the shit, nigga? We still got to be political no matter how you put it. We going to have to run for office. We're going to have people in place to do that. All that stuff you're talking about is that I know that we need that in the community. Only thing that I was trying to say is we still gonna have to deal with that monster of getting laws changed and have people in office that really have our back, that really have our best interests at heart. That is my point. But with that ideology, with that idea that you're talking about, having our community structure in the party line, I understand all of that. I get that. I know we need it to be a mindset because what you want
have our own leaders.
What you want me to say is what people don't want to hear, and that's why I'm not saying it.
What do you say?
So okay, listen. So if you asking a question, fucking let me get my shit off. So
you don't
pretty
even
much
know the question.
So look, pretty much what you want me to say is to get a party line. We don't necessarily, we would never get a all black fucking party line. So you're not going to get a Republican or a Democrat, anything or a replica of that shit. What you need, one, is to change ideology within the community. Then you need to have allies, real allies. So the same way blacks are affected in our own community and shit, we need to
depending on other people.
Right, and we're always going to be fucking dependent on other
Facts,
people.
But what I'm saying is this. We can get those allies if they're really with us and they know that our ideology and the shit that we're trying to do within our political party or whatever, run as an independent or whatever, and the person that we're supporting is really about us and really about all of us as a whole, as a people, as a nation as well. Because being in that office, you have to be worried about everybody. You can't just be worried about just yourself. So yes, we're going to be dependent on other parties. We are the minority in this country. I get all that. But what I'm saying is when it comes down to it, you still have to play that game. And by playing that game, after we get the ideology within the community, all with a party line and what we're trying to go for and what we're trying to get, and we get the candidates and we support them within our thing, we bring them up. We get them at the scratch at the bottom, where they're, you know what I mean, on the lowest, just trying to get in or whatever, and we see potential in them. We're backing them within our party, we're training them, we're getting them in office, and this office is setting them up. Multiple people, not just one. I'm talking about a whole party where we become a power. I understand we're still always going to be dependent. I get that. And I get that this whole shit is rigged and fucked up. So we got to get our minds right in the community and build it up. And then get our allies to help us after we have our shit together, our structure and all of that. I get that. But at the end of the day, you still got to play this game. This country is set up on an economic game. That's what it's about.
I know. So what's
the
your
government
point?
is playing monopoly with us.
So how are we gonna get our own party? What's your point with the party?
The party, it go back to yours. The ideology, the whole party idea is to get our own people in office that we back, and that's gonna have our best interests at heart, and that's actually gonna get stuff passed. Like when you talk about like the Asian groups that got their laws and bills and stuff passed like that, and which is fine and dandy and cool. But we still ain't.
No,
got
it ain't fine, Danny, and it ain't fucking
let
cool.
Let me finish the point, bro. Wait, I'll go into it in a minute. What I'm saying is, they got theirs. We still haven't got nothing that is specifically for us yet. We still have not got that or attained that from our government yet. And we've been here and put blood, sweat, and tears into this country, like literally, fought in every single war and all that. All that is noted, it's history, it's facts, it's in the books. They might not write it down in the books, but it's already in there. So what I'm saying is, in order for us to do that and truly get those bills and stuff passed that we need, we have to play that game. We have to have our own person that we back, that we are paying, you know what I mean, that they are loyal to us. You feel me? We can run them as independent in any office. You can go through any office and run as an independent. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about. I understand it all starts with the groundwork, the fundamental shit, the structure.
What's your plan for building our own party line then? Because you haven't got to that yet. How are we gonna build our own party line?
I told you it starts with what you were talking about, the structure and all of that within our community and the mindset. We got to get out of this mindset. We have to switch to a mindset where it is political and owning property and owning business, owning equity within this country. Like a real power. Asians already have it. Like even Africans that come over, they have it. They have people in position to do things within their community and build it. Cubans, Mexicans, like everybody but us. You feel me? No real infrastructure where we got each other's back like a net. So that's what I'm talking about. So it starts there. You asked me what my plan was. Let me finish it out. It starts there. Then it goes and we get the party line and all that type of stuff. But we gotta, after we do that, we have to get our own organization that funds our own independence and puts people in office. Who knows what that might turn into? It might turn into something that is Republican, Democrat, and such. And it's us three. That's what I'm saying. But I know it starts at the bottom with infrastructure, with housing, with fucking food, with like all that bottom basic stuff to where we can get into a mindset and get out of ownership, land, and all of this, our own grocery stores, like our own banks and institutions and stuff like that, where we own, our people own, and when we're funding schools, we have schools and stuff like that.
Now, when we understand the history and everything that we have been through, like what's the word? Tuskegee, everything that happened in Tuskegee, any other black movements we have ever had, right? Black Panthers, when they had different locations, they started one place, then they had chapters. We done this many times over and over again, and that's again things that I leave out of conversations because these are the micro things when you're talking about building. So you have to have all of these little things put in place before you ever get to that final ground of saying, hey, we finally got a significant organization to move forward, to build a black party, and this is our fundamental principles. And these principles not only align for what we want and where we're going, but they also replicate how we want to perceive the rest of the world and everybody else that has to coexist in the world with us. That's why what I was saying is the way I said it and the way I was going about it. Because you don't want it to make it seem like white folks or Asians or Mexicans can't be a part of this subgroup.
That's literally what I said. That is literally what I said. Literally what I said.
Well, that's it. That's all I got. I'm done. I'm good. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. This is Raw Brilliance. Thanks CBJ Lounge for, you know what I'm saying, the gas.
This right here is why we just can't communicate and build in the community right here. Because my boy right here got it in his feelings.
No, nigga, because you kept fucking cutting me off.
No, you talk for 15 minutes and then I talk.
But what did he fucking do?